Hello, this is another waltz in 5-time, this time, by Delicq. This is called Vivre, to live. It's in thirds and sixths all the way through in the right hand, so either a third apart or notes a sixth apart. And just in case you're interested, thirds are inverted sixths. So a C and D this way round is a third. If we put the C on the top, we get a sixth. This starts off in thirds, C and E, two of those, then one beat gap, then B and D, straight into A and C, one beat gap, now sixths, down to D and B, no gap, down a note, finish on a third, C and D. So the top line just works down by step. Apart from that lead. And the rhythm is 2 gap, 2, 2 gap, 2, 2 gap, 2. Like this. I tend to play long short. And then 2 shorts, long short. Long short, short short, long short. Then comes the big leap. I suggest that you either practice the leap or look down at the keyboard for this one. So we've got C and E, we leap up to F and A. This is in thirds until the end again, this passage. That just switches backwards between F and A and E and G, and then finishes on C and E. Play that again. Using that fingering as a suggestion, just so that you can see the keyboard. Then we've just got C and E, and we move up to D and F. And then we split to sixths. So from the D and F, split to sixths. Finish with C and A. So again, mostly it's next door notes, stepwise motion. Next passage is in sixths from the start, E at the bottom, C at the top. Again, it moves by step or repeats notes. Let's play it again. Does get repeated. Next passage again in sixths, starting 1 note higher. Then we have a little leap down to the D and B. Apart from that one leap, it's all in stepwise motion. And then just finished with, we start that phrase again, as it were. All moving by step. And then you do another sixth, but you put a passing note in. And that's the only non-white note. And finish on C and A. So that last phrase again starts on F and D. You can either keep the C down or move it to an E. If you're really ambitious, you play. That's harder speed. So that's it for the right hand, really. It's just a question of learning how far apart those intervals are and keeping your fingers not rigid because you want to have some relaxation for the piece to sound good, but knowing how far apart a third or sixth is. Okay, I'll just zoom in for the left hand. Left hand is pretty straightforward. It starts off with A, so find your E, and there's the A, and the minor rose too far back. and the minor row is 2 rows back. This is going to be in 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2. That's where it gets its energy for. So you could either stay on the A bass, or switch to E. The E's got a lot more energy, obviously. So that's the pattern pretty much throughout the song. Starts on A minor, another A minor, first half bar of A minor, and then move down to G just for the umpa, and then C for a whole bar. Or you can play C. Occasionally it's worth putting in the bass notes rather than the alternative bass, the fifth, just to show you all the end of a phrase. So from the beginning of that passage it's A minor, then the E bass but still A minor, A minor, 2 beats on G, 5 beats on C, and then that whole passage repeats. Now although the right hand then has to leap up a long way to get to the next bit, if you're down at the C, the F is next door to it. That's the bizarre thing about accordions. Some things that are close in one hand are miles away on the other hand. So we need the F chord. This is only going to be umpapa, then there's a change. So it's umpapa on F, and then this time I miss out the C, play the G, but with a C chord. So I'll just try and keep the bass in shot. G, C chord, F. And that's because we need the chord of C to fit with the right hand, but the G is a stronger bass note in this context. So F major, chord, then G bass, and then 2, and then 1 C chord. So F chord, G bass, C chord. And you get 3 of those before you end up back on C. And then we go to D minor next. That's the same as the opening A minor chord shape. So umpa with the change of bass notes. Do the same thing on A minor. Same thing on E major or E7. And then A minor. So if you get the right bass note, apart from that F chord switching to the G bass note, it's the same pattern throughout. So now we're on the third section. We need A minor again. This is going to switch to E halfway through the bar. So it's going to go A minor, umpapa, E, umpa. So 3 bars like that, and then 1 bar of A minor. So A minor, umpapa, E, pa, umpapa, A minor, E, pa, umpapa, E, pa. And then we move down, do the same thing starting on D minor to A minor. But this time we skip to E, pa. And then A minor. So it's D, A minor, D, A minor, D, E, A minor. So that once more. A minor, D minor, A minor, D minor, E, A minor, A minor. And to finish with, when I've been saying Ds, it's just shorthand for me saying D minor. So D bass. Last 4 bars are D minor, and then alternate bass, D minor, then A minor, same thing. And then E, same thing, or E7, if you've got the 7ths, and then then A minor. So along with the music that's on the link, that should be relatively straightforward. The patterns are the same throughout. I really like the energy that's created by effectively being a 3/4 bar plus a 2/4 bar. So that missing beat gives it a real limping energy, which I like. Another great Delicq song. Hope you like it.